Alrighty, time for Duelist Kingdom action, and in this one it is Weevil Underwood taking on the Para Dox brothers, and if I am right about this, I believe this is the last match of round 7. I'm just going to pull my tournament bracket up as this one begins to get underway. This is match 16 of 16 from round 7. So, Weevil against the Para Dox brothers. You would think that Weevil would probably have the odds-on favourite. The Para Dox brothers haven't performed particularly well throughout the tournament. They have started off with Wasteland. Weevil, though, does have has Forest available to him as well, but Weevil doesn't have anything else. Oh, bit of a brick hand for Weevil to start off here. As for table standings, the Para Dox brothers are 30th, so they are almost on the bottom. Weevil is 16th, so we've got a mid-tier against a bottom-tier side, which is going into round 8. So you would give the advantage to Weevil. He is probably the favourite to win this one, but you never know what will happen in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! As Weevil now draws Hunter Spider, which is a 5-star, really should be a 4-star, but see the way some of those early cards were that were around those 1600s. The Para Dox brothers have gone for a tribute. They've tributed their Giant Soldier of Stone, and they have just summoned Millennium Golem, which is now 2200, so Weevil will be down to 5800 here, and he still does not have a card to play. His Infinite Dismissal would have actually got the Giant Soldier of Stone if that was summoned after its activation. There's Girochin Kuwagata, but that again doesn't really help Weevil here. It's one of Weevil's better insects. It would only get to 1900 though, so the Weevil, is he? Oh, he's not even going to play it in defense. That's it's not a terrible move, because if Weevil pulls one of his power-ups, it could flip the advantage of the duel, as the Para Dox brothers have played Guardian of the Labyrinth. So another 3200 potentially coming off Weevil here. It'll put him down to 2600. And Weevil's going to need a massive comeback to get this one, to pull this one back. But it has been done before. It's been done before on this channel, as Infinite Dismissal activates but doesn't take anything. It's a Javelin Beetle from Weevil. Again, no help. He has not had a lucky start to this one, Weevil. His Girochin Kuwagata gets to 1900. It can take out the oh no, it can't. It's a negate attack from the Para Dox brothers. I was going to say it could take out Guardian of the Labyrinth, but it can't now. So 22 off the 19 would be 300, so 1300, which would put Weevil to 1300. I was going to say that all the Para Dox brothers needed is something to go down 1300 or more. However, with it only being 1100, it will leave Weevil with 200 life points. The only way he can really get out of this, in fact, I don't think there's any way Weevil can get out of this. A little bit too much on the high-level monsters was pulled for Weevil. It's a good thing we were looking at Weevil's hand for this game, because we wouldn't have known what the hell was going on if he was the one who was not being watched from perspective. We would have just seen this large hand and Weevil not doing anything. Weevil is now just flipping up cards for the hell of it, I think. So, an unlucky start for Weevil. He barely got a monster to the field, but the Para Dox brothers will still pick up this first win. And it's a good omen for them. They've had a tough start. And maybe they can get back to winning ways and maybe try and make their way up off of that bottom end of the table, as Millennium Golem is tributed. Oh, is this a play for Labyrinth Wall to attack? Oh, Magical Labyrinth. I was about to say, are the Para Dox brothers going to attack with Labyrinth Wall to remove Weevil's life points? I was going to say, that is absolutely cold-blooded if they would. But no, the Para Dox brothers, believe it or not, have summoned Wall Shadow, which for some reason is a warrior type. Whereas the Shadow Ghoul's a zombie. They look almost identical. But Either way, Wall Shadow, which is arguably one of the worst cards in the game. It is extremely difficult to summon. It is not any better than Labyrinth Wall. It may have 1600 attack, but for its difficulty of summoning, is not worth it at all. So it's one of those old forgotten cards that by today's standards, even back then, even by standards back then, Wall Shadow is a terrible card. But we got to see it, and it actually won a match for the Para Dox brothers, which is ironic. It would be from the Para Dox brothers' perspective starting up on this one. Now, I will flip to my comments for some name shoutouts for appreciation for commenting from yesterday. The Para Dox brothers, it's an okay starting hand. A few monster options there. A Monster Reborn. One Day of Peace is played. So shoutouts to Demi Henning, Elgar the Regicide, Kodos Kopos, Moonwolfie, Emperor Pikachu, SEH292, and there's another new name here as well, as Giant Soldier of Stone was played. Oh, and One Day of Peace from Weevil. So a peaceful start to this duel. I'm going to try and say this one, More Sarah Biosad 9776. Now the message is, I believe that's in Spanish. I could be wrong about that, but according to translated by Google, it says, why were cards thrown away when you had a full hand? I understand throwing away monsters, but why do you throw away the traps? It was for the Bakura and Chaz match. Well, I just commentate. It wasn't actually me that was playing, if that's what the question is. It's I actually don't know who was playing as Bakura, so I can't even really ask, but sometimes it's just spur of the moment. You throw card destruction to try and refresh a hand to get an advantage. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So probably a gamble play more than anything, but I believe Bakura did end up winning that match 3-0, so he actually played really well against Chaz. And Bakura needed a win. He needed a good solid win to cement his place as still a contender in this tournament. As so Weevil's got Neobug. He played that face up. He didn't do anything with it though. Monster Tamer goes in and destroys Neobug along with itself. Para Dox brothers do have Monster Reborn, so they can bring back one of those 1800s. Weevil with 7 cards in hand. He's got his Cocoon of Evolution on the field, which again, extremely difficult to legitimately summon Great Moth or even perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. Almost impossible. 1500 of, I think that's Flying Kamikiri. Destroys the statue of Easter Island. Para Dox brothers draw a remove trap. And Para Dox brothers have played Monster Reborn. And, oh, they've gone after Neobug. Ignored their Monster Tamer, but I guess fighting insect with insect against Weevil is a viable little clapback here. 1500, 300 points off Weevil, so he's down to 7700. Shoutouts to Connor Chavez as well as Super Palco, Kesis 7586 as well. And I think that's as far, yes, that looks as far back as yesterday's comments went. Weevil skipped his turn and threw Caterpillar. Oh, there's Invigoration for the Para Dox brothers. They get to 2200 with that Neobug, and that can now destroy Cocoon of Evolution. So Para Dox brothers have finally broken through this defensive fortress of Weevil and his oversized Cocoon. It's now up to the Para Dox brothers to try to take advantage and pull forward with this attack. Weevil's played Cocoon of Ultra Evolution. Oh, from either field. I have never read that effect properly. Oh my goodness, Para Dox brothers have just lost Neobug. They equipped it with Invigoration, and it has allowed Weevil to play Cocoon of Ultra Evolution. Oh, what an absolutely rotten move for the Para Dox brothers. Oh, they could not have ever seen that coming. That's 4,100 points combined of damage. The Para Dox brothers now on 3,900 and can barely fight back. I guess they picked Neobug over Monster Tamer. I guess you would never think that that is actually going to happen. The Para Dox brothers have had this match absolutely flipped on their head. If they pulled back Monster Tamer, it wouldn't have actually mattered because it needs to be an insect. That an equip card. It doesn't matter what the equip card is. That Cocoon of Ultra Evolution, I have never seen it played like that. You can't blame the Para Dox brothers for that. I mean, they never would have considered that was going to happen. But with Great Moth on the field, to get over 2,600, the Para Dox brothers are going to need, like, Sanga or... Surgeon or Kazajin could still do it because of their effect of putting an attack at a 0 once per turn, but... Absolutely shocking turn of luck for Para Dox brothers. You can't help but to feel a little bit bad for them, because they were well and truly in the driver's seat for this one. 7 tools of the bandits, no help. And all they can do now is defend. They're going to need... They could draw an Offerings to the Doomed or something along those lines to perhaps get back into this one, but Weevil is pressing home an advantage. He's got 7 cards in hand still. He's just played Forest. And Mystical Space Typhoon now targets that face down. It was just a 7 tools of the bandit. There's Acid Crawler. Well, what a turn of events. Weevil went in for an attack with Acid Crawler. That was a risk. Calculated one. Oh, a very calculated one. He's just thrown down Rush recklessly. That's great play from Weevil. The 2,800 is going to put the Para Dox brothers down to just 100 life points, and you got to say that it is likely the final turn for them coming up, unless they can pull out an absolute destiny draw. They do not, however. They've drawn the Guardian of the Labyrinth. Trial of Nightmare is played. It can knock off that Acid Crawler, but what a move that was from Weevil to notice that play from the Para Dox brothers. An insect now has an equip card, and I can do it from either side of the field. Game-changing move, but Weevil will pick up a... he will gladly take the victory. He doesn't care how he wins, Weevil. All he cares about is that he is the one that has the W. Did Weevil win a single duel during his entire anime appearances? Not on screen, I don't believe. He lost Duelist Kingdom, he lost his first match. He played against Joey. Had Weevil played any other matches? Because Joey... I'm pretty sure Joey eliminated him from Battle City. I don't believe Weevil ever won a match in the anime. Which is a bit of a disservice to the insect typing of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because insects are generally really, really good. Look at that Insector deck. That thing is absolutely insane. I've lost to the AI Insector deck on this using good decks like the Gravekeepers and the Amazoness. They were very, very tough to beat, the Insectors. And Weevil again has drawn Neobug on his first turn. He's also got that Cocoon of Ultra Evolution again. It's good to see the Great Moth every now and then. It's almost impossible to summon with its effect summoning conditions, but with Cocoon of Ultra Evolution it actually makes it possible for that card to get to the field. Para Dox brothers play Mystical Space Typhoon, destroying the Thunder of Ruler. So Weevil defenseless here. Shard of Greed from the Para Dox brothers. And they start off with Stone Ghost, 1,200. Zombie and a Rock under 1,200 would create Stone Ghost on Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, which my disc is, I believe, inside my old PS2, which is still in a storage locker. That's what I get for leaving games in consoles. Mystical Space Typhoon played by Weevil. He gets rid of Shard of Greed, so the Para Dox brothers can't draw 2 cards in the future. Mask of Weakness also laid down from Weevil, so you can consider Neobug being 2,500 attack, which is very, very good. Stone Ghost destroyed, 7,400 for the Para Dox brothers. And Weevil, starting off with his 1,800 attacker again, is very, very lucky. The Para Dox brothers, they had a really good first match. They were very lucky in that first match, or should we say that Weevil was extremely unlucky in the first match. He got extremely lucky in the second. There's Cocoon of Evolution again, so a bit of a running theme here for Weevil. He's just set down Man-Eater bugs, so the flip effect of being able to take out an opponent's monster. Rock Ogre Grotto 2 is destroyed, but Weevil setting himself up for a powerful effect in that Man-Eater bug. The Para Dox brothers have played down another face-down defense, defending maybe all they can do here. They are really under attacking pressure. Weevil has drawn Spiked Snail. Only a 700, but 700 points of damage is still 700 points less that the Para Dox brothers have. Weevil has flipped up Man-Eater bug. What was that face down? It was Barrel Rock. Only a 1300 defense, but 7 and 450 is 1150, plus the 1800 is 2950 altogether. So it's going to leave the Para Dox brothers with 4450. Yeah, 4450. 6800 for Weevil. He's sitting pretty good here. The Para Dox brothers now with 3 attackers to contend with, along with a Mask of Weakness, which is sitting menacingly as well. Para Dox brothers play the Man-Eating Treasure Chest. Now, Mask of Weakness won't be strong enough here to save Man-Eater bug or Spiked Snail. You wouldn't think the Para Dox brothers would attack Neo bug. If they did, we'd be asking some questions, but Magic Jammer drawn from Weevil. He lays face down. He's got his Cocoon of Evolution now in face down defense. So 200 off here, plus 7 would be 900. So Para Dox brothers will be down to 3550. And if this continues, Weevil is likely to pick up the third and final match. They are at 1-1, so nobody can win a bonus point, as he can no longer sweep 3-0, but it's been a good outing for Weevil. He had a bit of a shocking first match, but he's pulled it back quite nicely. Gigatech Wolf, which is part of the Labyrinth Tank fusion for Para Dox brothers. And this time Mask of Weakness is activated by Weevil. So to put the Gigatech Wolf down to 500. Oh, 7 Tools of the Bandit, which in theory actually costs the Para Dox brothers more life points. But they get to keep their Gigatech Wolf. Spiked Snail is destroyed. The 18 over 12 would be another 600 off Para Dox brothers, so they're looking at 1950 life points remaining. There's Metal Armored Bug, unless... Oh, Weevil... Oh, he is going in for a tribute. He might as well. He's got Magic Jammer there. If Offerings to the Doomed or something gets thrown down, Weevil can block it. This will be 1600? Yeah, 1600 off Para Dox brothers. They're down to 950. And within reach, if the Para Dox brothers run out of monsters, it will be a win for Weevil. Another face down defense. Weevil just has to obviously pull something 950 or greater, which he does have. He draws Kumitoko, which is only 700. So not one of those monsters. Pretty much everything the Para Dox brothers have for defense is stronger than 700. Weevil destroys the Statue of Easter Island. And now 700. It'll put the Para Dox brothers to their final 250 life points. They will lose on the next turn. Unless, well, I don't think there's much the Para Dox brothers can do to get out of this now. Unless they drew like a 1300 with Ryoku or something. Could be one way they could get out of it, but they've... Oh, look at that, an equip card. Weevil could possibly play his Cocoon of Ultra Evolution. Well, he's really honing in on a statement here. There goes Kumitoko. Now what would... You can bring any insect, it doesn't matter on its summoning conditions. You completely ignore the summoning conditions. You could even bring Javelin Beetle, but Weevil brings his... one of his mascot monsters of Great Moth. 2600, 2800 with Metal Armored Bug. That was a good win for Weevil, a good comeback win given that he was down 1-0, but the Para Dox brothers, they just did not get the run of luck they were looking for in this one. It's a 2-1 victory to Weevil, who will make his way up the table, and the Para Dox brothers will be stuck down under the 30th mark. Coming up, we do have the start of round 8. Joey is scheduled to face off against Marek, which really you would say that Marek would win, but again, you never know what will happen in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Thanks everyone for tuning in, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, take care, farewell.